What's going on, guys? Ryan with Jedha Patrol back with another video. Today we're going to be unboxing the 40th anniversary Darth Vader from Hot Toys. That's right, guys, Ryan back with another video today. Darth Vader. Earlier this year, I sold my A New Hope Vader in preparations to get this one because I got plans for this particular figure, which I think you guys are gonna like. But this is the 40th anniversary, super awesome. I just did a video on, which probably came out a few days ago, of the 40th anniversary Boba Fett deluxe figure. Check that video out here. It's pretty awesome, just gotta say this. But this Vader, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice, right? So I think we should just go ahead and take a closer look. As you can see, this is definitely a different style box than we're used to with normal Star Wars figures. We've got a slip cover, which we're used to, and then we've got this extra other stuff. Let's take a look at this guy. There is our Vader up close and personal with his saber lit, and then right up here, we get this awesome foil metallic Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary collection little sticker. It's pretty much just a sticker. That's cool. I mean, there are some people who may just want to leave theirs in box and display it just like that, and I can totally understand why somebody would want to do that. Check out this awesome box art right here. It would be cool if they did this kind of box art on their regular with Star Wars stuff, but typically we don't. So you paid a $20 higher price tag for this particular figure. So this is actually a pretty cool feature that the A New Hope Vader doesn't have, which is the removable helmet, the little unmasked back of the portrait. So that's kind of nice there. But I kind of dig this, so I say we just go ahead and open this thing up and see what we got. I'm gonna need a knife. So let's go ahead and just make this happen. Now, you've probably already seen this in my collection because I just released a collection video, and I'm actually recording this before the collection video, so I can actually include this in the collection video. So if you didn't check that out, go check that out. I'm gonna show you all of my 6-scale collectibles I have right now. And, oh, wait, hold on, what do we got here? Ooh, look at that. That's weird. Didn't know it did that. This is a little magnetic tab. I don't know why. Why would they do that? That's weird. Like, what's the point? Really? Maybe if you want to look at if you can flip this magnet over and you can look at the accessories. I don't know, that's weird. All right, Empire logo there, and then we've got the tray. It's definitely a thicker box than you're used to for a 6-scale figure, at least for a Vader figure. Let's see if I can get all this stuff out. Like, when you try to pick it up, that does that. It's super fun. This is live unboxing, guys. This is how it rolls. So, okay, there we go. We have accessories, we got hands. I'm hoping this is a little more poser friendly than my A New Hope Vader was. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed that figure. There's a specific reason why I wanted this one though, so sorry about that. There we go. We'll get into that. So, all right, so we've got a light up arm right here. I will go and straight up tell you, I never ever use these. It's such a pain to deal with, and I just don't. But I do appreciate that they include them in the figure, but I just don't really use them. So yeah, there's that. All right, so let's do this. We've got a Vader. All right, come on now. Are you taped down there? Nope. Is it taped? No. There we go. Okay, a little friction fit there. So we got a Diorama Base. We've got a figure. We got some hands. Let me get all this stuff out of here and let's see what we got. All right, guys, we got everything out of the box, and actually just handling this, I remember what it's like to actually have a Vader in the collection, because the cloak, the cape, it's such an awesome figure in hand. But let's take a look at the accessories, and we'll take a look at this Diorama Base, and obviously we take a look at Vader. We'll put him in a bunch of poses, give you guys some ideas and inspiration, kind of decide, you know, should you get this Vader, or should you maybe wait on something in the future that maybe one day we'll get one. But anyways, first off the bat, let's take a look at the saber, guys. We are going to have the normal saber here, which does not light up, and then you've got the other hand, which I showed you guys earlier, that does light up if you so choose to. I just not a fan of exchanging those myself, but there it is, guys. This does have removable blade. If you want to, you can put the unlit blade if you want. It's got this little hook right here, a little ring if you want to hang it on his hip. That's kind of a cool way to do it as well. But it's nicely done. It's I mean, we've seen this time and time again, but it's well done. And you have the regular blade, and then you have the action blade, which definitely did not come with the A New Hope Vader, because that was released way long ago. But it's nice that we were able to get this. I kind of dig it. I typically will not display my Vader with a blade opened up. I don't know why. We'll see how this one goes. We'll see if we get some poses where it looks cool. But honestly, it doesn't really need it to be scary and imposing in the collection. So there's that. So hands-wise, we got a nice assortment of hands. Actually, I'm pretty impressed with this. So we've got this palmed hand, which is pretty nice, little pleathery-like material. You can see the texturing going on in that actual sculpt. So they do a good job with that. And these are somewhat basic, but his actual costume was somewhat basic. The one problem I have with these, and I did have it with pretty much any, long gloved hand figure, is actually finding the peg way down there at the bottom and actually getting it to peg in correctly. So that might be a task when we get a pose in it. We'll find out here in a second. We do have a fisted hand. This is a left-handed fisted hand. So there's that. Super cool there. We get a saber holding hand for the right hand. So there's that. We get this kind of a force or a gesturing hand, if you will, on the left hand as well. And these are all really well done. Really well done. Again, the only pain is really just kind of figuring out where that peg is down at the bottom. We got another gesturing hand on the right hand. I like it when figures come with all these different styles of hands, because your posing options go up exponentially versus like two open hands or two fisted hands and two saber holding hands. Like, that's boring. Vader has a lot of expressions just with his hands, and this is cool. So there's a left-handed saber holding hand, and then we've got this pointing holding hand on the right. So that's kind of cool. And obviously we've got two more that are actually on the figure, which we'll take a look at in a second. The Diorama Base, I think, is probably one of the key pieces that, one of the reasons why you'd buy this particular Vader, or even this is obviously the 40th one, but the Empire Vader, which is exactly the same figure, different box. But this Diorama Base is huge, and honestly, I'm really happy with it. I wasn't sure I was going to be. Let me see if I'm going to pick this thing up. But it is quite large. I mean, it's a good size, and so I'm pretty happy with this. And I don't mind that it takes up a lot of room in the display, because I've got plenty of space, so I'm not upset about that. But the weathering detail on this is actually a lot more than I thought we were going to get. So here we go. This is obviously, we've had some battle damage going on here with some sabers, chopping some bits and pieces off. But the paint apps, you can see right here where it's like the heat damage going on there, and some speckling and some debris and rust and stuff just kind of piling up on there. It's nice little paint apps on there. Towards the bottom, we got some shading going on here and down here. So it's not just a flat gray, which is kind of nice. We do have some LED lights here, the switch, if you guys are wondering, there's a switch right here. Takes 3 AAA batteries, flip that switch, and then we've got these LED functions, which honestly just go at random. I don't think there's any particular pattern that I can tell. They just kind of, you can see right there, they just kind of go at some kind of random pace, and it changes, and they'll slow down and speed up, and it's kind of cool. There they are, they're slowing down a little bit. So that's pretty nice. I actually quite like that, because they didn't have to add the LED functions in that, but they did, and I'm happy that they did. So there we go. So you can see those right up close, and I think they did a really, there they go. See? Sinking's going crazy, but I think they did a really good job with this. Again, some more paint detail here. Here's your 3 AAA batteries that it does not come with, so I stole these from a TV remote. So yeah, Daily Max Batteries has not sponsored this video, but if you want to, you can email me. I don't know who they are, but they have this diorama base right here with some nice detail going. This is pretty flat. There's nothing crazy going, which is fine. And we do have this nice step, which we can use as some interactive part of the display. So I'm kind of digging that. And then up here, and I forget exactly what the heck this is. I'm sure somebody out there in YouTube land can tell me, but I'm drawing a blank. So there we go. The diorama base is nice and large. I think it's gonna look awesome when we get up to posing it. This is definitely a major reason to pick up this particular figure. So let me kill those batteries right there. I really like that. So let's go ahead. It does come with a just your normal crotch grabber if you need this. So we may use that depending on what kind of pose we might use it, we might not. But now we've got the actual figure to deal with. And what I was saying earlier is the weight and when you pick up a Vader figure by Hot Toys, you can tell the quality, for lack of a better word, you can tell the craftsmanship, I guess maybe that's a better word, that goes into this figure, because it's just heavy. I mean, literally, this cape is so many layers, and you can tell it's just very well done. This is not your typical Jedi cloak. This is not that at all. This has got multi-layers to it. You can feel the texture in it. You can see the little lining they've got going on, and it's got some solid weight to it, which is very nice. But that is going to be changed on my figure in the near future, so stay tuned for that. One of the reasons I actually wanted to pick up this figure versus the A New Hope Vader that I had is I plan on changing the cape out to a wired custom cape. So stay tuned for that. I've put in an order. It'll be here whenever they make them. Sometimes they take a good minute to make those, but I plan on getting a wired cape for this, and the way to change it out on this figure is going to be a lot easier than it would have been on A New Hope. So I figured I would just get this one. So there we go. But there's your metallic paint and whatnot going on with the armor plates. I mean, it's a Vader, guys. Look at this thing. Absolutely. I mean, Hot Toys knows how to do Vader. Absolutely. Look at this gloss, high gloss going on here. Super, super cool. Big fan of a Vader. And I needed a Vader. Like, I really, really want a Return of the Jedi Vader. But for whatever reason, they just haven't given it to us. I mean, they made it in quarter scale, but they just never made it in 6 scale, and I don't know why. But down here, you can see the texturing going on here, this fabric material, which is not going to really hinder any articulations too much. I mean, Vader doesn't jump up and do flips and stuff like Anakin used to do, but pre-Vader. But he does have a little bit of a bend there, so I have a feeling you could get a little bit more out of that if you really wanted to. So that's not bad right there. But yeah, I'm having a good time with this one, guys. I like me some Star Wars. Love the little boxes on the front and the sides over here. Another one on this side. And obviously these are changed out for Empire versus A New Hope versus Rogue One, and obviously Return of the Jedi. I'm looking at all these things. I love how this cloak on Empire goes underneath the armor versus on A New Hope it went above it. So I'm a big fan of that because I think it's just a cleaner look. So there's one reason I prefer this look over the New Hope version is simply because I can see more of this armor. It's not covered up by these cloaks. So that's just a personal preference, totally subjective, and you may be completely opposite of that, but that's okay. So down here we do have his pants, his little space pants, if you will, with that same material. And I don't think we're having any issues posing. Yeah, we're gonna have no issues with that. I mean, Vader's not gonna be jumping up, down, doing kind of crazy stuff. So that's nice there. And then the boots are this should be held on by Velcro, and they are. Yep, that's a Velcro piece right on there. So if you happen to pop off, that's nothing to worry about. So there's that. We do have a split cut boot. Oh no, what, hold up, do we have a split? Oh, I was worried about that. That's one thing that I didn't like about this figure. That's the second time that's happened to me. First time was when I took it out of the box originally, and then I just dropped it. Jeez. And you don't want to be scuffing up your helmet. Thankfully, I think we're good. But yeah, you don't want to scuff up the helmet. I was going to come back to this towards the end when I got done with this, but it seems that the helmet has beat me to it. So since it's already done that, let's talk about the portrait. I was gonna look at the boots, but here we go. One of the reasons you might want to get the Empire one is for this reason. The A New Hope Vader definitely did not. Let me get this cape under control. Definitely did not have this function, but check out how just finely painted and gloss. I mean, just absolutely just ridiculous paint jobs. That mirror-like finish they've got going on this thing is just super cool. You can see all those little connectors and transistors and whatnot that goes on Vader's helmet. And then if you want, you can, look, there's the top of it. Just crazy. And then if we want, we flip this around and boom, we've got the back of Anakin's head. So we already have the back of Anakin's head. We already know what the front looks like because we got it on the quarter scale. Hot Toys, give us a Return of the Jedi Vader, please. Please, 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 please. But check out that detail and those paint apps going on the back. And all these little, I mean, the detail on this one is crazy. It would have been super cool to get this from A New Hope, but You know, I mean, there's really no reason they would have done it for that particular film. But this one right here is just crazy cool. How cool would it be to get a 6 scale Bacta tank with Anakin in it? That would be so. I don't think it happens, but you know, that'd be kind of cool to get. So I dig that. It does just kind of circle peg on there. There's really no, if I put this back up, it would be nice if this was magnetic, but it doesn't really appear to be. That would have been nice. So clearly, if you just kind of put it up there, then yeah, there you go. So there's that. But yeah, so let's go back down to the boots. I was gonna say it was a split cut boot, but it's not. It's a single normal Star Wars boot. That's unfortunate. I was excited there for a second. The feet, if I flip this guy upside down, are super flat, and he will not do very well at running on the Death Star because he has no tread. So, what do you guys think so far? I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this thing. So I think what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get some posing going on, have some fun, put some other characters in here, and we'll give our final thoughts. All right, so maybe it's just me, but every once in a while there's a figure that shows up in the collection, and then you put it in a pose and you put it on the shelf and you just go, damn, that was a good purchase. Like, this is that. You know, it's been a minute since I had a Vader in the collection. Actually, it's been a few months. And because I was anticipating this figure coming around, and like I said earlier, I'm gonna get a custom cape for it, a wired cape, which is gonna be amazing. And when that does show up, I will absolutely do another posing video with Vader, maybe some other figures, and you know, see what we come up with. But I wanted something simple here. This is absolutely not a very difficult pose to pull off. However, there was a little bit of an issue, so I'll point that out here in just a second. And I don't have it spinning around because honestly, it's just a black cape on the back, and that's not all that interesting. But let's go ahead and take a look really up close at the portrait, or the lack of portrait, the helmet. And you can see like the way the light hits this thing, it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The crisp lines, the high gloss. I mean, it's Vader all day long, so they absolutely nailed Vader on this one. So super excited to have this one in the collection. I will, maybe in the next pose or something, we'll take a look at the back of the head, because the helmet is obviously removable. We can take a look at that. But just overall, super excited to have this figure in the collection. Let me scroll down just a touch. You can see right here we've got the armor covering the shoulders and whatnot, which is beautiful. High gloss. I mean, everything about this is gorgeous. This is Vader. If you're gonna have a Vader in the collection and you don't currently have one, I would get this. I mean, I know this is essentially a remake of the Empire Vader, with just a different box. But if you're like me and you missed that one or you skipped that one, here's your opportunity to pick one up. So I did want to showcase these lights because they do have the, this thing's not cooperating with me today. They do have a flickering function, so AAA batteries look fairly nice, and they do have an alternating pattern, and it changes up as they keep running on. But the stacks here, where he chopped it off with the saber, look great. The weathering looks gorgeous, and I mean, honestly, just everything about it looks pretty solid. So, pretty big fan of this one. Hope you guys like this pose. We'll definitely break out a few more poses and see what we can come up with. But man, that's just good looking. Okay, pose number 2, guys. I had to break out the Emperor here and the throne, and I had to cheat a little for this pose because honestly, you can't get Vader in a kneeling pose really much at all without cheating. So I will show you what I did, and it did take a good minute. And there's the back of the cloak, by the way. But as the Emperor kind of comes around, you can kind of see what's going on. He's having a little chat with his apprentice, and there's Vader. And I actually cheated. Here we go, guys. Dude, this Vader's badass. Holy cow. I actually have him one knee down on a Stormtrooper display stand. Now, the reason being that you can't actually get the front leg up high enough to where you can have the back knee actually on the ground. And so I had to cheat and put the right knee up on that display base. And that's how I was able to achieve this look. By the way, if you don't have the Emperor, it's a beautiful piece, by the way. If you can get him posed in a way that kind of makes sense. It's not the easiest figure to pose, but man, it's good looking. Yeah, it's really good looking. So there we go, guys. Let me give you guys a close-up as this thing spins around. And I may have to remove the Emperors to get a better look at this thing. But there we go. You can see I've got his knee, the one knee on the display stand and the other foot off of it. And I've got one hand holding the cloak and the other hand just kind of in the fisted in. And dude, come on now. Come on. Come on, guys. Hit that freaking like button, because this is flipping epic. Jeez, I gotta zoom out. Come on. If you're not having fun with your collectibles, man, what the hell are you doing? This is awesome. Now, you can let me know if you like this pose or you like the other pose better. They're both pretty good, I think. I'm happy with either one of them. But this interaction between characters is a super fun way to elevate your display. And man, that looks awesome. Look at that. It's flipping cool. And just in case you want to pose your Vader with his son Luke, here's an option for you guys. So this is Luke. Honestly, this is inspired by the last episode of The Mandalorian. That pose right there with Luke. But fighting back to back with his father, that looks pretty good too. So I think those are pretty cool. Interesting to note about this figure, the gauntlets, the hands they're a little difficult to get on because of the way the gloves are. So they're not the easiest thing to get on. So once you get them on, just be patient with it. Even if you have to cheat it a little bit and just actually have them on there and not even pegged in, depending on the pose, that might work as well. The feet, again, having the slick bottom makes them a little slippery, and depending on what surface you're posing them on, it might be a little difficult. But overall, I quite like this. Quite like this Vader. So, you know, if I had to pick up a Vader and I didn't want to spend the money and get the, you know, possibly the Rogue One version, you know, this would be a solid option for you. And you get a cool box. You know, if you like boxes, there's a thing. But and the only downside of this, the high gloss, is going to be the fingerprints. So that kind of sucks. But I like this Vader. I dig it, and I can't wait to get the custom cape to come in here, because honestly, that's gonna really set off the display, and I'm just super excited to make that happen. So just to give you guys a heads up on what's coming up on the channel. We've got piles of videos. We got Nebula, we've got a Death Trooper, we've got Heavy Mando coming, we've got Spider-Man Mark IV armor from the PS4 game. We've got 6 scale news, obviously a lot of stuff going on. We are expecting some news to happen soon, maybe this week. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how the Bothan spies treat us this week, and we'll kind of go from there. But if you haven't already, guys, we're on our way to 100,000 subscribers. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I know about 50% of you haven't even hit the button yet, and honestly, you just should. It's an awesome thing to do. And we're going to get into posing. We're going to get into action figure reviews. And obviously, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, what the heck are you waiting on, guys? We've had like 100 and some odd people join just this week. And you guys rock. So thanks for everybody's joining up there. And yeah, look at Luke. Man, that Luke's cool. This is the Jedi Luke, by the way. This is not the deluxe indoor Luke. He's just, he's super cool as well. I don't think I ever did an unboxing video of him, but he's a good looking figure. As always, collect what you like. Be a Sith Lord. See you next time.